guys, it's Cash Kicks here, and thank you for watching this video. Today, I'll be going over how I make my money, because a lot of you guys are interested in how I make my money to afford all this stuff, because yeah, it's expensive, it adds up, and so I have to have a good way of making money. So I'll teach you guys how, or I guess not teach you guys, but I'll tell you guys how I make my money and explain how I get all the money to buy all this stuff. So basically, I resell like shoes and clothes, and I know there's a lot of ways of doing that. I know people have bots, people do stuff like that. I actually personally don't use bots or anything like that. I want to kind of learn how to do it because it's cool. I think it's interesting and it's really successful. I have a friend who does it really well, and I'm having him teach me, but yeah, I'm not smart enough with computers to figure it out, so I have no idea how to do all that stuff. But yeah, so basically how I resell is I do raffles. That's pretty much the most effective way I found besides bots, but that's kind of complicated. So basically, I enter raffles. That's basically it. It's really simple. Okay, let's say the shoe comes out Saturday. I would call around on Monday and just like call around to all the stores in like the Dallas area. I live in like around Dallas. And yeah, I would just call around to all the stores around Dallas, in Dallas, just kind of in that area that I would know that would get the shoes. And I just call and be like, hey, are you guys doing a raffle for this shoe, blah, 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 whatever the shoe is. And they'll say yes or no and tell me all the details, or maybe it's a first come, first serve. And yeah, I just make a list in my notes and I write it all down. I write each store, I write the name of each store, the mall it's at, and the information for the raffle, or if it's first come, first serve. I just write all information, have it really organized in my notes on my phone, and then I screenshot it to my dad. And basically, my dad is super nice, and he actually knows a lot about shoes, and so we kind of do it together. And basically, he will go around, and during the school year, he just goes around while I'm at school. But in the summer, or like on breaks, every now and then I'll go with him. But he basically goes around and enters all the raffles at all the stores I send him. So yeah, it's super nice that he does that. I know a lot of parents wouldn't do that. But basically, yeah, my dad will go around and enter all the raffles. Basically, you just fill out a ticket. I know I've said basically way too many times, but I'm just kind of like thinking, you know. But you fill out a ticket, and then you just put it in a box. You keep one, you put one in the box. Or if it's an app, all you have to do is just like press reserve or whatever, and then go check in at the store. Most apps you have to check in. Like I know the Foot Locker, Champs, and Foot Action ones you have to check in, so he'll do that. But all the stores are in the same malls. There's like 3 different malls that have all the stores in them, and so he just goes to each 3 malls, checks in at all the stores, enters all the raffles. It's super nice. And then I find out usually Thursday or Friday, sometimes Wednesday, but usually Thursday or Friday if I win the raffles. So I have my phone on. My dad has his phone on. We just have our phones on ready, because basically if you win the raffle, the store calls you, and if you don't answer the call the first time, they just pick another person. And so I have to be around my phone at all times, making sure if I get a call I answer it, make sure it's not the store that I entered in. And so yeah, basically on Thursday and Friday I find out if I win any raffles. And if I do, that's awesome. I usually do. I'm pretty successful. On the apps, like I'll wait to the countdown, and then I'll find out if I got any pairs off the apps. And yeah, I have to wait by my phone to see if I get any calls from stores. And at the end of like Friday, I find out how many pairs I won and what malls they're at and what stores they're at, so-and-so, whatever, all the information. And then on Saturday morning, I wake up early with my dad, and we go drive around to all the stores and pick up the pairs. It's really that simple. I do have to pay for the pairs. If you win raffles, you still have to pay for the shoe. I know a lot of people get confused with that. But if you win the raffle, you still have to pay for the shoes. The raffle's basically just to determine who gets it for retail. So yeah, I basically just go around, pick up the pairs, pay the resales, whatever. And certain stores have certain deadlines. Like I know Foot Locker, you have to be there before 3 p.m. And then for certain stores, you have to be there before like 12, whatever, you know, different stores, different rules. But basically at the end of like the morning, I'll come home and I'll have all my pairs, and then I pretty much just flip them on StockX the same day. I don't really care about holding them for value or anything. I kind of just flip them the same day, because I would hate to hold them and the price go down, so I kind of just flip them quick and just make a little bit of money off of each pair, and it adds up. Like for the bread toes, I got like 6-7 pairs, and I made like $600, something like that. And like the cap and gowns a couple weeks ago, I got like 2 pairs, picked them up, made like $100. And like the butters last week, I won 3 pairs, I picked them up, and I can make a little over $200, which is pretty solid. So it adds up, you know. You're not making $1,000 off of each pair, but you're making a little bit off of each pair, and it adds up. It's a lot easier to do it that way than find the one shoe where the profit's $1,000 and you get a pair, but most of the time you strike out. It's a lot harder to do it that way. I kind of just go for the shoes that I know I can get a few pairs of, and I can make like $20 off of each pair. So yeah, that's really about it. It's really simple, nothing too crazy. I just enter raffles, and that's about it. I obviously do try online whenever they drop on sneakers or Adidas or whatever it is. I do try online, but yeah, I don't get them very often, just like everyone else. But yeah, I'm pretty successful in the raffles, and that's really how I make my money. And yeah, there's usually a release every week or two, and then I'll just make like couple $100, whatever, each weekend, and it adds up to where I can afford this stuff like this. And yeah, it's really fun, really nice. I really enjoy it. It's really cool seeing all the shoes and getting all the shoes in hand. and then coming home with like the bags, and like you just have tons of bags full of shoes. That's like the best feeling. And yeah, if you have like a parent or sibling or someone who can drive you around, you can do it too. It's not that hard. You just have to like put in the work and like call all the stores and like know the stores that will get the shoes. But yeah, another important thing is just to build relationships with the managers at the stores. That's a whole different like topic, but yeah, it's really important though to like know the managers and kind of like become friends with them sort of, because they'll help you out every now and then, which is really nice. And so yeah, that's how I make my money. Nothing too crazy. It's pretty simple, pretty like just straightforward. But yeah, I did get a new couch today as well, so a room tour will be coming pretty soon, probably next week or two, something like that. And I'm going to LA Friday and Saturday. Speaking of LA, we got LeBron. I'm a big Lakers fan if you don't already know. I've had like a Lakers banner in my background before, like my past videos and stuff like that. I've said the Lakers are my favorite team before. Don't think I'm a bandwagon or anything. But we got LeBron. I was super happy when I found out we got LeBron. But then I found out the Warriors got DeMarcus Cousins, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's kind of too bad. We're probably not going to win next year. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you want like NBA videos, I can do that, honestly. I am kind of biased towards the Lakers. Well, really biased towards the Lakers. And I think it'd be funny. So if you guys want that, comment down below. But thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate it. And I'm out.